More on this in just a minute. The National Security Advisor for then President Obama is explaining why she felt it was necessary to learn the names of Trump advisors who were present at a meeting with a Middle Eastern diplomat late last year. Some people, including President Trump, are saying Susan Rice crossed the line and that there's much more to this story. Here's Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge.
A senior Capitol Hill source told Fox News former National Security Advisor Susan Rice offered, quote, vast and varied explanations, requesting the names of Trump transition team members who were swept up in surveillance of foreign government officials. Returning from Florida on Air Force One, President Trump said the so-called unmasking of his team was wrong.
What she did was wrong, and we've been saying that, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
The source said Rice told lawmakers she was bothered by a December 2016 Trump Tower meeting, reportedly between the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, former campaign strategist Steve Bannon, incoming National Security Advisor Mike Flynn, and the United Arab Emirates Crown Prince. Rice said the Gulf delegation had asked for a meeting with President Obama, then canceled because they said they weren't coming to the U.S., then came quietly to see the Trump team. A former intelligence official disputed Rice's characterization, emphasizing the Gulf delegation did ask for a meeting with Mr. Obama, but the White House dropped the ball. There was no immediate comment from the United Arab Emirates Embassy in Washington. Rice's explanation appears to back up Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes' allegations earlier this year that the Trump team's names were improperly revealed. In a PBS interview at the time, Rice denied any knowledge of the unmasking.
I know nothing about this. I was surprised to see reports from Chairman Nunes on that count today.
In a subsequent interview on MSNBC, Rice insisted that any unmasking requests were above board.
The allegation is that somehow Obama administration officials utilized intelligence for political purposes. That's absolutely false.
After Nunes issued subpoenas for the unmasking requests by Rice, former CIA Director John Brennan, and former UN Ambassador Samantha Power, who allegedly made hundreds, Nunes wrote to the Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coates, that the possible motivation was to, quote, achieve partisan political purposes, including selective anonymous leaking.
Multiple sources tell Fox News they found Rice's explanation about unmasking, quote, dubious, and they went as far as claiming the Democrats might regret digging into the allegations because it has so far exposed embarrassing revelations about the Obama National Security team, as well as former Attorney General Lynch Brett.
Catherine, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about the unmasking issue and the potential DACA deal with Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano and Bill McGurn, Main Street columnist for the Wall Street Journal. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. The unmasking thing, you know, not a lot of coverage about this today, but it is a big story.
It's a huge story. It's with the president's allegations, and the unmasking seems to have occurred at about the same time that mysteriously portions of a transcript of a telephone conversation between General Mike Flynn, then President-elect Donald Trump's national security advisor, and Vladimir Kislyak, then the Russian ambassador to the United States, mysteriously appeared in the Washington Post. That almost is the linchpin that started the ball rolling to what's going on between the Russians and the Trump people. On top of that, I don't want to bury the lead. To me, the lead is that Susan Rice knew, and presumably her boss, President Obama, knew, that President-elect Trump and his people were being surveilled in Trump Tower in the era before he was president of the United States, and she knew how to take advantage of that.
Bill?
Yeah, I think, look, first of all, a lot of people in Washington owe Devin Nunes an apology when he came out with his charge that senior Obama officials were unmasking members of the Trump campaign. He was treated as a kook, and he's been proved right. Look, Susan Rice said she knew nothing about it, nothing. And now she's saying it's because she was interested in a sheik. Let's put this in a context. What she did is you get intelligence reports with names redacted, right, classified reports. You pretty much know that this is going to be a Trump campaign official when you don't know which one it is when you get it. But this isn't asking in the blind. I think the idea that they're going to let her off the hook for this flimsy answer, and also the American people have to ask themselves, are we comfortable with this fact of senior people in one administration looking in on people in the incoming administration?
this should be a subject matter for Special Counsel Mueller to investigate. This is part of the whole parcel of, was there some involvement with the Russians? Was there some involvement with the Obama administration trying to make it look like there was involvement between the transition team and the Russians?
And clearly there are lawmakers calling for that investigation.